Hello, welcome to Have a Nice Death. We're going to do a brand new run. This is a roguelike, so typically there's a bunch of meta progression and all that kind of stuff. Here, we're going to start a brand new file. There's some cool stuff going on with that, which we're going to be showing off. And today I'm joined by...
Hi, I'm Quacksilver. I like indie games the normal amount.
We'll see about that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start us off. Time is going to be when I exit the elevator. So I'm going to start this. Start counting us down. We're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, Allie.
All right, so this is Have a Nice Death, and in this game, we're playing as Death, who is the CEO of Death Incorporated. We are a bit burnt out and need a vacation, so we have to deal with the Sorrows, who are middle managers who are causing too much death, and we want to make sure we get through this. So as a roguelike, there's a lot of elements that are quite tricky. This is obviously a one chance if there's a death, run's dead, so we gotta make sure that doesn't happen. But for the most part, it's a lot of arena combat, and we're going to start off right here. Quack, you want to talk about arenas?
Yeah, absolutely. So the bulk of this game, there are 4 biomes that Allie's going to fight through. The bulk of this game is 1 and sometimes 2 combat arenas with waves of spawning enemies in each room. At the very start in this tutorial area, it's fully static, so Allie has everything memorized. But as things move on, it gets progressively more random. Now, this is a fresh file run, so if you're familiar with other fresh file runs in roguelikes, like Hades, for instance, you know that on the first run, the game makes certain affordances to make the run a little bit more consistent for a consistent play experience. In this case, we're going to be abusing that quite thoroughly because all of the weapons that Allie is going to pick up over the course of this run are in a static order.
Yeah, that's true. So we're going to be wanting to find bees, which is, yes, I said that right, bees is going to be our weapon. Right now we got Fireball, which is a great start. You want to get like as many spells and weapons as possible. And we already got a second one. This is a perfect start. So bees will be the third thing we get. It always comes as the third upgrade, or spell in this case. And so we're gonna be wanting to stack up spell damage. Each bee is a homing attack that is going to deal a bunch of damage once the run gets late. We're gonna try to focus on mana management. If you see there's a mana bar in the top left of the screen, it's the green bar. And we're gonna be using that pretty much just to make sure we actually are able to cast all our spells. Bees will cost 15 apiece, and it will let us underpay. If you have 5, you'll be able to cast 4 bees still. And that'll be coming up here in a bit. Aside from that, we have a bunch of other upgrades. We want some money so we can get various things. Each floor also has a different reward. And so this is Mr. OSHA. Say hi, Mr. OSHA.
Hi, Mr. OSHA.
OSHA is going to give us a lot of different curses. These curses will be used for our different skill tree to make us more powerful. The first one we start with is always going to be the green one, which is going to give us +4 spell damage. From here, we just have a bunch of just arenas and combat to go for a little bit. So, Jaypeg, if there's any donations, feel free to take it away.
Yeah, people are already super hyped for Have a Nice Death. $25 from Anonymous saying, one of my favorite roguelike games. Let's get that bonus game. Yes, absolutely. Just a little bit over 51,000 to go. I know y'all can do it. Keep it coming. This is the time. And $25 from Sage Page Mage saying, I'm currently playing Have a Nice Death, and I'm so pumped to see it speedrun. Also, adding this donation to the incentive for Breath of the Wild. Let's go!
I believe in all of you. Breath of the Wild is sick. 2-player, 1 controller is absurd regardless of the game. It's going to be an incredible time.
For sure. And also, if you have not played this game yourself, it is part of the AGDQ Humble Bundle that is currently on sale. So another thing to check out that will also help go towards PCF. So if you like this game from what you're seeing, I'm only showing you the first run. There's a lot more to this game. And it's a great game casually or otherwise. So huge recommendation.
Yeah. Allie mentioned collecting currency in this game a little bit earlier. There are actually 2 tiers of currency because the Afterlife, it turns out, is a freemium game. Hate to break that news to you. But we're looking for 75 of our base currency here before an early shop to get a Prismium, which is the premium currency, because Prismium in the late game will let you skip the typical currency requirements to upgrade your weapons. And we want a maximum upgraded bees for reasons that will become readily apparent if we do get it.
Yep, and bees are going to be at the end of this floor at minimum. So we have a static floor basis. So this one's going to go as equipment or spells. and for the fact that it's all pretty linear for the ones they want you to start with in the first run, we're going to be able to get bees. Bees actually need to normally be unlocked in your run, so like after your first run, you won't have bees until you unlock them. So it's actually really good that we're able to get it in this run. All right, that is a cursory roll, which is going to be super useful to dig for more damage. And we got our bees. Let's go.
Heck yeah, bees. So, as Ali mentioned, bees are our main damage, and they are absurd in this game. They come out in waves of 2, which means you get double the value from all of your damage buff curses, which includes the forced spell damage buff curse you get right at the start of the run. They also are homing, which is huge for these big arenas with a lot of flying enemies in particular. And they also have the most intense homing I've ever seen from any projectile in a video game. You can shoot out a pair of bees, and if the first will kill an enemy, the second will literally do a 180 mid-flight to home in on another enemy. It's so kind, so forgiving, and just stacking spell damage and mana regen is going to be Ali's damage for this entire run. This is the first boss. His name is Brad. That was the first boss. His name was Brad.
Hi, Brad. So anyway, bees, powerful. And yeah, we're just trying to stack mana regen, various forms of damage. Every boss, you get an OSHA contract in addition to max health and some money. So it's like a really good thing. Plus, you get healed a bit whenever you increase your max health. So a really good combination. This is the break room. We're going to be in here between each of the runs. There's some things in the fridge. There's some animas you can get, but we're fully stacked and we're in a good spot right now. So I don't need to look at any of that for a little bit.
And you mentioned animas earlier. So the way health and healing works in this game is there are actually 2 types of heals. You can see them as the little pips above Ali's health bar in the top left there. Right now, they're all gold. There are multiple types of damage. It's sort of like gray health or like injury and regenerating health in a couple of other games. Basically, some damage is not permanent, and that can be healed off by blue animas, which are the base ones, which heal you a little bit more but can't actually break through injuries. So if you properly take the damage, you can't get it back unless you use a gold anima, which Ali is currently topped up off on because this is actually looking like a pretty good run so far. I'm not jinxing anything, though.
Cross those fingers, please. But yeah, this is going pretty well. And for now, yeah, again, it's just more arenas. If we have some interesting floors coming up, we'll talk about it. But Jaypeg, if you have anything else to say, go for it.
I sure do. We are less than 50,000 away from that bonus game, y'all. You've made it so we have over a third raised. So y'all, you can make it happen. Less than 50K. I know you can do this. Let's go. By the way, we have $25 from Cabbage saying, "Let's go, Ali." So more run for this amazing, amazing game. And $25 from Katie Maycat with no comment, but thank you so much for your generosity. And $100 from SpaceGat727 that says, "Yahaha, you found me. Gotta get that bonus game."
We can keep going.
All right, perfect. I can absolutely do that. We have $50 from Kyle that says, "Let's go, Breath of the Wild." Y'all, you gotta make it happen. I believe in you. And we have $130 from our very own Char Bunny saying, "Donating $10 per death in my run as promised, less than 3. Thank you to everyone for unlocking the bonus world in my run. Now let's get that bonus game." Yeah, absolutely. We made World 19 happen. I know that you can make this bonus game happen. What is not to love about 2 players, 1 controller? It's always goofy. It's always fun to watch. I know you love it. Absolutely.
It's so amazing. And if you did not see that Mario run, it is an all-timer. You have to go back and catch the VOD. This is the first of our mini-bosses. They're called Thanagers in this game. X4H is actually a little bit annoying of the Thanagers because of the invulnerable attack where it moves along the ground, but that was pretty clean work.
Can't get much better, yeah.
Yeah, and we got Infused Lightning, so just extra little tick damage on all of the bees.
Yep, whenever you deal damage, Infuse will trigger, so we're going to be using that quite a bit. We're in a great spot, though, honestly. Full health, lots of animas. We're just cruising along, trying to increase our damage. That's all we need to do.
Yeah, so generally the pattern here is there are a couple of floors that are totally free. There's one floor in particular, an intriguing floor that can happen once per biome that is the only type of floor that Ali can actually just skip, essentially. You can fail out of. It's like a platforming challenge that you don't actually have to complete. Beyond that, shops are generally good, but also generally ignorable. To talk a little bit more about the upgrade system, there are 3 branches of curses, which are our upgrades, because we're death. And Allie's looking primarily at the green curses, which are spell damage, mana regen. Every few curses you get, you also have to take an associated penalty. The beauty of speedrunning this game is there are a lot of penalties that actually just don't matter to us. Like things that make enemies do more damage, ideally we're not getting hit anyway. Things that make the shops cost more, ideally we're not visiting those other than the times we've routed in. So the penalties are very interesting and very dynamic for casual play, but for us, hopefully they never matter.
Yeah. It's actually a little bit different than that. Like, you don't need to, there's not penalties all the time. It's only for specific ones, which will actually have a downgrade in their level. So they're usually ones you want to avoid, but we actually want them as they can get us the right kind of thing we're looking for, like extra damage. Here, this is really good. It'll give us a lot more damage, but it will cost some of our dash. A lot of this is going to be routing on the fly, so it's like kind of just figuring out what's going on at this point to try to maximize our damage. I think bees are already level 1. We'll see when we go to upgrade, but...
Yeah, so you always get a control room before the biome boss here. So we're going to upgrade bees as much as we can.
All right, level 1 bees, okay.
Nice.
And bees upgrading, they have some other special abilities that'll happen for us if we can get to the full level. Usually level 2 is where most runs end, but sometimes you get to level 3, and that's what we're hoping for. But yeah, this is Gordon Grimes. This is the second of our bosses.
Most of the biome bosses are just different flavors of very large hitbox. Gordon Grimes, in particular, has a number of sludgy attacks that fill the whole floor.
All right, and when he opens his eyes, I'll unleash the bees.
That was clean. So we haven't talked about Frenzy, which is the purple bar on Allie's UI there. It's a meter that fills, and each different weapon and spell has an ultimate attack. Very clean. And mana, all right.
Yeah, we'll take it. Rockstars is not something we're gonna fight. There's different biomes, and different enemies will spawn in the biome. So sometimes your penalty for certain things will be enemy that you're not gonna fight will be harder. It's like, okay. Easy for us to skip that one. And so here we're back to the break room. I'm going to check the fridge at this point just to see what there is. Heal of 50. I'm going to pass on that.
We're doing good on anima.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to the physical illness department. This is the most tedious of the worlds, as after you spawn in, you can go up, down, left, right, and they might all be the correct way. There is a map in this game, although we don't really need it. We just kind of have to... It's a lot of routing by vibes for this. So right now we're just looking for the arena, or ideally the exit. Sometimes you skip the arena. Here we did not.
Yeah, and mechanically all of the enemies in the physical illness department have, first of all, some truly disgusting positive SFX on all of their moves and attacks, but also it's a lot of post-death effects, a lot of death bursts, a lot of things like that. And this is one of the intriguing floors, so we get a nice free room here.
Yeah, this is a great thing for us to find.
Don't get hit.
Oh no, I got hit.
I'm so sorry.
All right, keep going for OSHA for a little bit longer. But yeah, this area is definitely like the most tedious. This is the one where you have the most chance to have extra floors as the world generation gets kind of weird. And if you go the wrong way, there could be a floor that way. Getting like a bonus floor somewhere here for combat is not uncommon.
Yeah, it is definitely more often that you run into 2 arenas in one floor than you are able to skip them, but both you can expect to maybe see once a run, once every couple of fresh file runs.
Right there, you actually may have seen I picked up a coffee. That is the healing juice. More good damage, we like that.
Is that your second % damage upgrade? Wait, this is the build.
It's going pretty well, I'm not gonna complain. We're gonna go fight this Thanager here. This Thanager will probably melt if we're lucky, but this is a great little fight. It's a giant flying mosquito. And we're going to be getting there in just a moment.
And so the way buffs work in this game, we were figuring this out earlier today, or I was, is that flat damage buffs apply before % damage buffs plus bees. So, yup. Bye.
There's the boss. And I'm actually at the point where I've already ran out of green upgrades, I believe.
This is good. We were doing practice runs earlier today, and I think you had, what, like a 25% success rate with even getting early Bs, and then the time you did, it just didn't get the damage together. So we saved all the marathon luck for you, dear viewer.
We sure did. Again, this is a roguelike. Anything can happen, but we're going to be pretty happy with where we're at right now.
Yeah, I think with that build, we are kind of just chilling until the next biome boss. So Jaypeg, please hit us with what you got.
Absolutely. And can I just say, you had me at bees. But we have some love coming in for this run. $25 from Evie Nick saying, not the bees! Donating towards the Breath of the Wild incentive. Trans rights, less than 3. Y'all, less than 50,000. Just less than 49,000, actually, towards that bonus game. You're making it happen. $15 from KD Kit saying, let's go, Allison. And $50 from April saying, let's go, allison8bit. They love you. $25 from Alex saying, sitting at home watching your GDQ run. And let me just say, it is epic. Y'all, this is an awesome run. Is everybody falling in love with this run and knows that it's in the Humble Bundle right now for this? Just saying. We all loving this? Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Thank you.
Amazing. So anyway, here's this giant enemy crab.
If only we could attack its weak point for massive damage.
Unfortunately, it is all one hurt box. But yeah, this damage is ridiculous. And Allie also upgraded to level 3 Bs here, so I'm going to let the crab melt, and then we'll talk about the stealth buff that she also got. Nice. So when you fully upgrade a weapon or a spell in this game, there are also some like incidental buffs you get for being at max level. And it just so happens that the buff you get for having max level Bs is some absurd movement speed increase.
Yeah,
it's like plus 50% move speed.
It's very fast.
Like, observe, he run.
And now we're going to refill the fridge because we don't really need this money for anything else. Some more animas? Sure, we'll just get a max heal, why not? All right, so from here, all we have to do is get through this last area. This is the Modern Warfare department. Any COD fans in chat?
Who's excited for Thursday?
All right, so here we're gonna be using the Javelin, the other item I had. And that's actually useful just for movement. This area is a lot of move left and right until you find the underground bunker you need to go fight through. And so it's very useful just to like go quickly. At this point, I really don't need anything. I'm gonna heal if I get the heal stuff, if I get more max health, but...
Yeah, not for nothing. And again, still not to jinx it, but Allie, do you know offhand what your RTA PB is for this?
RTA, it's like sub 20. It had really good RNG.
There's a world.
But yeah, we're just gonna make our way through here. This is, let's see if we got anything good here. I mean, OSHA's not even that important anymore.
Yeah, if you've maxed out on curses, this is going, we're not jinxing it. No one jinx it. No one jinx it.
A little jinx as a treat. But yeah, Jaypeg, if there's anything else you want to get, this will probably be your last chance before the final boss.
How about a poem? $25 from Sarah of Mars saying, a small poem. Small bees on the keys, pushing the keys with their tiny bee knees.
So true.
It was so beautiful. And then $50 from Jess just saying trans rights. So yeah, I think those are both perfect. Thank you very much.
Probably do 2 more.
Absolutely. We've got so much hype coming in. We also have $50 from Scruffy Koala saying beads, bees, beads, bees. Let's get that Breath of the Wild run. Yeah, absolutely, y'all. We have just under 49,000 to go. I know that you can do it. And $25 from Celeste, who also believes in us saying, gotta get that Breath of the Wild run, less than 3.
Thank you so much, everyone. I know we can get Breath of the Wild. It's gonna be so fantastic.
It's this like hypest thing we can get. Like, come on, everyone, get it there.
Besides, because, excuse me, Allie's damage is so good, we are taking the one Thanager that you sometimes skip. This is Camille Flage. The reason you skip her is ordinarily you can't pile on this much damage. Wow. Oh, we're schmovin'. Flage's gimmick is that she hops all the way around the arena. She has indeed the freshest hops in Have a Nice Death. Shout outs to Frozen Flygon, also later on the schedule. But that was absolute melting.
Yeah, this damage is just a very high rate. And at this point, I think we're at the last arena floor. And yeah, this game is like a fantastic game casually. It's really interesting how well they made it for a fresh file speedrun. And like, I just have a great time with this game. I've ran it a few times, and it's just always a fantastic thing to show off to people.
Okay, don't show a second arena here, and I think we're kind of in business.
Yeah, I think from here we're just going to a shop. A little bit more mana as a treat. Control room. And if we follow that with shop, that's just skip, and that would be perfect. So obviously control rooms, you get to upgrade your stuff, which, is there anything I could, I'll upgrade this here, why not? Just a little bit more damage. It can't hurt, right? And then shop. Oh, we got a shop, yep.
Wow,
So,
all right.
2 floors skipped, which is perfect.
So we're headed into the final boss here, Major Pliscon.
Yeah, this is a actually pretty fun final boss fight. So this is the final Sorrow. Time's going to be at the end of the fight when there's an explosion and their health bar depletes to 0, which we'll try to get that as close as possible. But this damage is really high, so who knows how quick that's going to be.
Yeah, Pliscon doesn't have a whole lot of moves that, like, make him leave the screen. He's got this attack with the fire jets, but he is still within the threat radius of our bees.
All right. And time.
Unbelievable run, Ali.
That was fantastic. Real time of that? 21. Wow, that's really good. All right, so that was Have a Nice Death, and we defeated all of the bosses. So now we have to go on our vacation, right? So we get this little elevator, shows our vacation. We're gonna go enjoy it. It's gonna be great, right? Or maybe not.
Unfortunately, it is a roguelike, so you do have to keep coming back, perhaps by getting this game in the Humble Bundle.
Yep. So there we go. That was a fantastic run.
This has been a ton of fun. I've been Quacksilver. You can find me on the internet at Quacksilver on Blue Sky, and Quacksilver plays on Twitch. And I also have a show on our very own GDQ Hotfix that is explicitly for runs that do not roll credits, like Fresh File runs in roguelikes. Please find me at the event and talk to me about it. It'll be a good time. But mostly, follow allison8bit.
Hi, I'm allison8bit again. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time watching this game. This game is an absolute blast. In addition to this fantastic run, I have another run coming up at 8:30 or so in the morning on Wednesday. So if you want to watch me play a creepy old puzzle game, be here on Wednesday for that. But anyway, that's everything for me. Thank you so much for having me. Have a good event, everybody.